Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner.
All right, good evening there, everyone. Hopefully everybody can hear me okay. We'll see here in just a moment whether or not I gotta turn something else on. I'm currently looking for something here on the board here. All right, so it sounds good. Everything's working. We're getting everything situated here. Qualifying wrapping up, getting ready for the start of the race here at Chicago. Or, I'm sorry, no, Atlanta. Wait a moment. Wait a moment. Did I do this wrong? Go down here. Let me look at... January 4th, we're supposed to be here in Atlanta. I mean, I'm sorry. Well, we are here twice. Okay, never mind. I'm getting confused. This is Charlotte. All right. I have it correct. The track just looked like Atlanta for me for a moment. That's all. I don't know why. Don't blame me. I have it all correct. Chicago, or, no, sorry. Charlotte Motor Speedway, it is here tonight. Guess I should have just looked at my tower as it's correct up there. Yeah, we're in warm-ups here as we're on race number 3 of this season. Go ahead and update that as we are on race 3. Of the season here as we roll around here. Everybody's in warm-ups. Trying to see who's the fastest in warm-up right now. And we got Roberto out there in front in that 028. Down here in the corner number 3 and 4 goes Travis. We got Kevin Baker back here in the 057 looking there coming off of pit road. Got a few more working there through turn number 1 and 2. Got the high chew number 8 driven by Nigel Steely. Try to see who else we got out there. We got Bruce Beluskis there. Beluskis there in the number 93. Graham Connolly out there on track. He's got a pretty good time here in the warm-ups as it stands. He's out there with a 31.586. Yeah, some of these other drivers are out there trying to get time rolled in. Chase Hillis, Sage Greco on pit road. Still have not come out yet here for warm-ups. Yeah, you're looking here at that number 6 is Shea Charlton. Shea Charlton there in the 6. Jacob Brown. Issues there for him, or is that for me? Try to figure it out here. There it is. All right, we're back now. I don't know what happened there. There we see Nigel Steely there in the 08. I'm sorry, not in the 08. At number 8. 39, Andrew Kahn up here. There's the 139. Oh, I guess Andrew Kahn's driving the 139 out there on track. 39 on the scoreboard. We got the 057 of Kevin Baker right there behind him. Dan Kersley there in the number 023, rolling through corner number 1 and 2. Kahn now with the fastest time out there with a 30.710. Keep an eye on things here. Jacob Brown there in the 12. Shea Charlton there in the 6. Chris Knecker there in the 111. Oh man, what's going on here? Things aren't running quite right the way they need to be. Here we go, trying to get things rolled out here. Oh, okay, so we have it getting here ready for the start of the race. Okay, see him there on pit road. Here is your grid. Andrew Kahn there in front, getting that pole position. Gary Moore there will roll off in second in that number 89. Nigel Steely there in third at number 8. In the 057, starting for is Kevin Baker. The number 71 of Graham Connolly rolls off here in 5th tonight with Paul Wetland outside row number 3 there in 6th, driving at number 3. Sage Greco in the number 20, wait a moment, why the... There we go. Paul Whitman there in 6th. Jay Tarleton there in 7th, driving at number 6. Jeremy James driving at 2:21 in 8th. Trevor Roberto there in 9th, driving at 028. Ryan Peters in 10th, driving number 5. The 023 of Zach Kersley starting there in 11th. Mike Rowland rolls off here in 12th tonight, number 24. Back there in 13th position, that's going to be the dude Spillman in number 41, starting 13th. Zuzik there in 14th, driving a 555. Kyle Bird driving number 018, starting in 15th tonight. Curtis Knicker there in 16th, and at 111. The 34 of Jacob Brown starting in 17th tonight. James White there in the number 888, starting 18th. The 101 of Sean Day there in the number 19. Where you got Sage Grego in the number 17, starting there in 20th. William Gay starting in 23rd with Chase Illa there in 22nd. Bruce there in the number 93, starting 23rd tonight. Mark Ossier there in 24th. 25th tonight, going to be Major Afaw in the 88, starting 25th. Robert McRae there in the 803, starting 26th. And Troy Hampton starting in 27th here tonight in the 08. That is your starting grid. They are going green flag racing here. If we can get everything lined up here. Green flag is out there, down and away. Here we go. That's Shea Tarleton up there in 7th. There behind Graham Connolly. Andrew Kahn, your pole sitter, starting there on the down there on the inside right now. Gary Moore got one heck of a start off the top side through turn 1 and 2. Got that momentum early and out to the lead there for Gary Moore. And roll there off in the corner number 3 and 4. Out there back onto the front stretch. Here they go down through the front stretch here in the corner number 1. Looking there now as you got Spillman and Zujic and Tank Kersley there in the number 023. Working there through turn 1 and 2. Back out there onto the backstretch. Trying to keep track of everything. Everything looking good so far. And roll down the backstretch there through turn 1 and 2. I'm sorry, 3 and 4. Back out there onto the front stretch. You're on board there with Ryan Peters. Working down through the front stretch down here in the corner number 1. There you see that 555 there of Alexander. Zujic there in 12th position. They got that 5 there, Brian Peter working down that backstretch right there behind. The 023, Zach Kersley. Up off at turn number 3, and oh no, caution's going to end up coming out. Graham Connolly involved along with the 028. Travis Roberta. Oh. Get turned there across the front. Driving that M10, Mach 10 Motorsports machine. And come there off the corner. Graham comes down. Roberto goes up. They collide. And they go around. Man, oh man, splitting cars there as they come down the racetrack. Luckily, nobody else involved. Not quite what you wanted to see. They work there off the corner. Shea Tarleton there in 4th. Paul Wetland there in 5th. Zach Kersley there in 6th. Kevin Baker there in 7th. Graham Connolly there 8th. I can't go anywhere. All right, with caution flag out here with race number 3 of season 4. Here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, the first caution. You got the FMA patrons down there underneath your scoreboard. Gary Moore out there in 1st. Andrew Kahn there in 2nd. Nigel Steele there 3rd. Back towards the back, you got the 17 there. Driving that, Sage Greco. A little far behind that is Chase Silla in that number 26. Pretty cool looking paint scheme there on that 26 machine. They work out of the corner down through the front straightaway here. Let's see here if I can find it. Makes him a little slow here. Hopefully that'll help things a little bit. And we're getting ready here for the restart rather, here after our first caution, involving that number 028 of Travis Berto and Graham Connolly. Lights still on. We're going to be getting ready here for the restart next lap. I believe it'll be 1 to go coming to the flag this time. Roberto and Belusk there on pit road. Lights are off. Green flag next time by. Really trying to put this thing through its paces here tonight, apparently. Jay Todd and out there in fourth in that 6 machine. Let's see, who's our biggest mover right now? It looks to be that number 117 of Mark Ossier, who's up 12 positions out there on the outside, restarting there in 12. And the big spoiler right now is Graham Connolly back here down 19th position from where he started. He started up there in 5th. Now he's sitting 24th. Coming around here to the restart. That green flag will come back out. They'll be down in green flag racing once again. Coming here out of turn 4. There it is, green flag is out down in through the front stretch. Moore out there in front, got a good start over top of Steely and Andrew Kahn. Andrew Kahn calling there to third as Steely gets a great run down there on the inside. Moore shot out of the cannon there on that restart. A little farther back, there's the 3 of Paul Wetland. He's working on the inside there of Andrew Kahn, and I think I might know what part of my issue might be, and I haven't fully figured out how to combat it yet, is we got over 24 cars on the track. I start getting a little bit of skip issues, and I don't know why. Down through the backstretch, yellow flag, back out. Unsure what for this time. See if we can find out here. There's Bruce. Okay, we got Curtis. Oh, there we go. Curtis connector there in the 111. We'll take a look at it here, see what we can come up with. He has a blown engine. Oh, there he is into the outside wall. Bounces down into the 34 of Jacob Brown. And a hard hit there for that 111 on that outside wall. Most likely will be his night there, as there is no fast repairs here at FMA. Definitely want to thank everybody tuning in here and working through it here. I'm sure we'll watch as if we get drivers dropping out here eventually. Normally we do. We usually lose about 3 or 4. When we lose those 3 or 4, you'll probably see the broadcast kind of get a little bit more stabilized. I wonder if part of that's due to the graphics card. I don't know. Yeah, we're there off the backstretch. Yeah, they're under caution once again. Good evening there, Paul. How's it going?
Going pretty good.
Well, how's that car feel so far? I know this is our second caution now.
Not as loose as it was at the start, which is pretty good. So I'm going to stay out as long as I can on these freshies tires here.
Speaking of tires, how important will the tires be here at Charlotte tonight?
Well, not too important if we keep getting these yellows.
They're not going to be, did you say they're not going to be too important if we keep getting yellows?
That is a Big 10 for.
Well, we'll see if we can get some green flag racing in. I know there's 27 of you out there tonight, so that's a pretty good field tonight.
Yeah, plus it's very slick on fresh tires and stuff like that. So it's going to be a couple cautions so we get straightened out. We should be fine.
Well, good luck to you there, Paul, and hopefully you enjoy the racing up where I know it's always a fun time down there on track for you drivers.
Thank you, Adam.
All right, Paul Wetland there in the number 3. We soon to get back to green flag conditions. Work down through off the corner. And if you're looking there at that corner up there that we saw coming out of turn number 4, there through the restart zone, it's saying Echo Park. That's what confused me there at first, because that's what Atlanta's now called, is Echo Park. And yeah, that's why I got confused there earlier on in the race. Side by side, getting ready here for the restart, if we can. Head off the corner down here in through 1 and 2 down that back straightaway. Down that back straightaway, side by side, lights are off. Gary Moore, your leader, out there in front. And your car back behind him. We'll see if Con can get back up there in the second. As they work here off the corner. Casey Hampton is out. Roberto down on pit road. Brown on pit road. Canuck there on pit road. There you come there off turn number 4, getting ready for the start of the restart here. At lap number 13, and they come across the line. Down here in the corner number 1 they go. More great restart. Con there on the inside of Steely, trying to battle that out, coming there out of 2. Down the back straightaway, but Steely having a great run. Going to hold on to second as Con falls in line. Behind Steely down here in the corner number 3 and 4. Back out here onto that back stretch. There you're looking behind them. It's Tarleton there in the number 6. Wetland there in the 3. Dujic there in the 555. I think he might have brushed the outside wall there a little bit, but not hard enough to really do anything about it. As they work here off the corner, down that back straightaway. Here we go as they head into corner number 3 and 4. Wetland hanging on the pit as Carlton's there in front of him. Nigel Steele still hangs on to second as he got Andrew Kahn trying to chase him down. Looking back farther through the field here, Sage Greco and Chase Dilla running there behind one another. Getting around Spillman. I head back down here into corner number 1. Up there across the top, and look out, here we go. Problems here once again. Here in the booth, camera's freezing up. Give it a moment here, we should be okay. There we are, back at it. Yeah, I haven't fully figured out why with the, it seems 24 cars is that magic number. They head out there onto the backstretch, down through in the corner number 1 and 2. Alexander Zujic there in 6th, Ryan Peter there in 7th, Kevin Baker there in 8th. Mark Ossier there in 9th with Chase Dillon in 10th. Tank Kersley there in 11th, Greco in 12th. William Gay there in 13th, Robert McRae there 14th, Bruce in 15th, Spillman sitting 16th there. No, and the 803 gets a bump. McRae gonna hang on to it as he tried to get up there in front. Now he squeezes up against the outside wall in front of the 93 up Bruce. Man, under the 3rd caution here as the 803, Robert McRae ends up into the 93 of Bruce. Bruce nowhere really to go. He was already against that outside wall. We'll take a look at the on-the-pole incident replay here. And see that 803 coming off the corner. Down there on the bottom. You see that he got a little loose down there on the bottom. Now he's going to slide it on up out of the corner. And I don't know if that was neck cone or not. Let's take a look. Let's rewind it here a little bit and take a look here from our drone cam if we can. There we go. They come up off the corner, and yeah, they came together. Unfortunate there for the 93 and the 803. Man, oh man, drop frames are a big problem tonight. There we are, the few of them coming to pit road. Baker and Brown. Pretty sure that was Baker. Yeah, that's Baker. And at 057, you got Gay in back here in the pits as well. It's Jeremy James. They roll there off the corner. Good evening there, Paul. How's it going? You got a copy there, James?
Yeah, I got you.
How's it going tonight?
Pretty good. A lot of wrecks. Slick track.
Well, you're avoiding them though, right?
Yeah, I think I might want to move up, try to move up a little bit better this time. I'm trying to stay back, but that's where they're happening, so.
It's hard because you never know where the incidents could come from. They could come from the front, they could come from the back. You just never know.
Yeah, you are right.
So,
I guess I've been
how do
lucky
you
so
think?
far.
How do you think that Red Bull Chevrolet's handling for you tonight here in Charlotte?
Not bad. Not bad. Really, really loose on those restarts. After about 3, if I can get 3 or 4 laps, and then I'll be all right.
Well, good luck to you the rest of the way. We'll see how your night fares there. You're currently sitting 16th, so up 9 from where you started, so you're not doing too terrible.
No, just making my way. Thanks a lot.
Alrighty, good luck the rest of the way.
Yep, thank you.
Alright. Major FFTV there in that 16th position. As the green flag comes out. There you see him working down that back straightaway. Down there on the 4. Fred will pull that pace car down there on the pit road. Hey, what's up there, Peterman? How's it going? Green flag is out there, down and away here on that front straightaway. Side by side, you got that 139 of Andrew Kahn trying to get up there to battle with Steely as he had a decent restart last time. Steely once again hanging on top on that outside lane, working down that back straightaway. Kahn's going to have to pull back in line, but Gary Moore, man oh man, what a night for him as he's out front in that 89. A little bit of blimp there once again out of corner number 4. And for some reason, like I said, I get up over 24 drivers and things just go a little haywire. It takes me a moment to try to find drivers. Some of them not wanting to really dig in here. And I'm thinking part of it is I do have some drivers out now, so that's going to help clear up something. We'll see. There you got Shea Tarleton there in a 4. Paul Wetland there fit. Alexander Jurgic there in 6. They roll off of turn number 2 down that back straightaway. Nobody's really battling too hard as of right now. There's Chase Dilla just in front of Sage Greco. Sage Greco down there on the inside looking to try to get underneath a Chase. Can't quite get there. They work down into corner number 1 and 2. The 17 at Greco. Down there off the corner. Up to the outside lane. Working down that back straightaway. Now they're up there on top. That's the 5 of Ryan Peters. Falling back as Ryan Peters is up there falling back, and Chase Dilla gets there beside him and by. Sage Greco now looking to try to make that same move that Chase just did as he worked down there through that open door from Ryan Peters. They worked out there through the backstretch. Spillman there as well, going underneath the 93. Yeah, they Spillman trying to get up there underneath the 5 as well. Sage Greco and Chase Dilla now 7 and 8, up 15 spots for Chase and up 12 spots there for Sage Greco. Mark, he's up here in 11th, fighting for 11th rather. He's up 12 spots. Bruce up 12 spots. They got rolling out, Connolly out. Roberto down 17 laps. Knicker there, down and out. So we might see this start to stabilize some. As I said, I'm unsure why 24 seems to be that magic number. They race down that back stretch. Good evening here, Northern Michigan mapping. Please stick with us there. It will get better, I promise. Or not. Drop frames are really killing me tonight. I don't understand why. William Gay there in 14th. Kyle Bard out there in 16th. Moore still leads the way out there in the 89. Steely there in second. Andrew Kahn there in third. Shea Tarleton there in fourth. I'm just not sure exactly what's going on here with the I'm unsure what's going on here with the drop frame, but they do seem to be really heavy tonight. Ryan Peters there in 9th. Ruth back there in 10th. Right there behind Ryan Peters. Shea Tarleton out there in 6th. And Cuddy is 3rd as he rolled out through the back stretch. They're heading into 3rd. Nigel Skilly there in 2nd. Robert McRae there in 21st. James the Weapon there in 20th. Jeremy James there in 19th. All right. Down through corner number 1 and 2 they go. Up off of the corner, currently looking there at Ryan Peters. Down through the backstretch, you see everybody single file pretty much except for Sage Greco, who's gone around Chase Hilla and working around Shea Tarleton and getting himself there in the 4th. There you see the 5 of Ryan Peters falling back another position there as he's got the 555 of Alexander working there on the bottom, looking there at the 75, William Gay. As Gay works his way up there into the top 10. As Moore, Stanley, Cog, Greco, Tarleton are your top 5. And there you watch them coming there out of corner number 4. Down here in the corner number 1. They head there out of 2, back onto that back stretch. Hey, there goes the 5 of Ryan Peters to the inside. Going to try to make something happen there underneath of Paul Wetland. The 75 there of William Gay as well. They try to push one another there. 34 of 75 laps. They work there off the corner. They go. Having said Connolly out. Panucker out. Hampton out. Roberto down there at minus 17 laps. Sitting there on pit road. I believe, or is he out there on track? He might actually be on track. Nope, Roberto is on track. Back there 17 laps down. Trying to get around Mike Rowland, who is out. Jacob Brown there in the number 34. And Roberto will take that next spot, move up there in the 23rd. Here in the next little short section. There he is, Roberto, up in the 23rd, getting around Mike Rowland, who is out. So we got Rowland, Connolly, Knucker, and Hampton out of the race so far. And watch him work down there off of the front stretch here in the corner number 1. There's that 555 there of Ujic. And down here through turn 1 and 2. We're watching Alexander. Alexander. Out of the corner here, down across the stripe, and into corner number 1. Lap 39 of 75. Underneath the 8 of Steely comes the 89 of Moore as they battle for position. Right there behind him, that's Sage Greco, who's worked his way up through the field quite a bit here tonight. Up 17 positions from where he started. Down there on the bottom side, right there behind. Pit stops taking place here and there. We'll see Robert McRae is in for his pit stop here at lap number 41. They got 17 there, Sage Grego right there behind Gary Moore. Not sure how thrilled Gary Moore is to have Sage there behind him. As Steely's out there in front. As Steely's up 2 positions. Gary Moore kind of settled in second where he started tonight's race. And working on down here out of the stripe down into corner number 1. Side by side once again there in sections of the racetrack. Looking here at that 139, Andrew Kahn, your pole sitter here tonight. In the 4th behind Sage Greco. There you watch him come there out of the corner, down off the stripe. Through 1, or coming here to the stripe rather. Heading into 1 and 2. Sage looking to the outside of Moore, can't quite get there. Falls there in line. Looks like he's just going to kind of wait it out and wait for a chance to strike during pit strategy. There you see the 88 of Major Afaw. Back here in front of the 34 of Jacob Brown. Jacob Brown a lap down. Then you got the 18 there of Kyle Boyd. Or Bird, sorry, Kyle Bird. Out of corner number 3 and 4. Back around onto that front straightaway. And they're battling out here. Great job by these drivers as they hang it out. Looking to try to prove themselves here for the series. They work down through the back stretch. At 221, Jeremy James back here in 17th. Nigel Steely, Gary Moore, St. Greco still hold on the front. As it stands right now, Kahn holds on to 4th. Gay holds on to 5th. Your top 5 there at the top of your leaderboard. Kniger is out Hampton, out Connolly, out along with Rowland. Roberto down here trying to race for points a little bit. He's down 17 laps, but Rowland in 23rd right now. Got him in 22nd. That is Jacob Brown. And off the corner, there you see the battle raging. As Greco gets up there towards Moore. Up there on the outside, Moore on the inside. Coming down that back straightaway. Sage gets that second spot over top at Gary Moore. Gary Moore coming to pit road. There on board there with Kyle Bird. Now Kevin Baker. Back here in 13th. Spillman coming to pit road. Sean Day, Uncle Tank, Paul Wetland, Chase Zilla. Chase Zilla made his pit stop. Wetland made his pit stop. Tank Kersley made his pit stop. Chase Zilla back here at 16th position. Did his pit stop there at lap 45. We got Sage Greco coming in. Going to hand it over there to we're going to out of turn 4 down here through the front straightaway. I'm sorry, they're in turn 2, working down the back straightaway. And a group of cars chases there in the middle of it all. Getting around the 34 of Jacob Brown. Sean Day comes out of pit road. There you see them all laps down as they try to get their pit stop done. William Gay out there in second. Tarleton there third. Baker there in fourth. James there in fifth. And you got Steely, who's on pit road. Peter's on pit road. Greco rolling around here out front. Leading some of these guys here. He pitted at lap 47. Couple cars behind him. That's Chase Zilla. Chase Zilla works there out of 4. He's got Peters there behind him, but Peters is down there on the inside. Nigel Steely down there coming off pit road. Chase going to get around him as well. Gary Moore there in the 89, sitting there in 7th right now. William Gay out there in front, trying to hang on to everything he can right now. Andrew Kahn there in 2nd. Shea Tarleton there in 3rd. Kevin Baker there in 5th. I'm sorry, 4th. Jeremy James there in 3rd. Kahn and Tarleton are in. We're going to off up 4. 25 laps to go. Now 24 as William Gay comes across the line. Here comes Sage Greco right behind him with those fresher tires. And Gay's not really going to fight him too hard. I wonder if Gay's going to try to hang on to some fuel here. I don't know. Or if he's going to come and make a pit stop. We'll see here as he's out there in front, up 20 positions from where he started. Kevin Baker back here into 2nd. Now 24 laps to go. There you see Nigel Steely coming there underneath. Or I'm sorry, not Nigel Steely. Gary Moore coming underneath William Gay, getting his lap back. As Gay is out there in the front. Greco's got a whole lap to try to get back up there to battle them. And look at that move there from the 6th. Getting through that traffic, that's Shea Tarleton, who is a lap down to William Gay and Kevin Baker. Kevin Baker still has yet to pit. Jeremy James pit. These 3 drivers out front, William Gay, Kevin Baker, and Jeremy James all pitted at lap 18. 22 laps to go for William Gay. Off turn number 4, out there to the front, across the stripe. Down through corner 1 and 2. There you see Steely going underneath of William Gay. Chase Zilla as well. William Gay battling some older tires. Now, the one I'm curious about is Sage Greco. Sage Greco currently coming through turn number 4. William Gay is here coming out of 4. So Sage not that far ahead, truthfully, of what William Gay is. So he's got to really put some time in to try to get back up there around Gay if he wants to win this. Gay right now, 20 laps to go, coming to 19 as he comes there off of 4. He's working there 3 and 4 right now, but when he comes off of 4, he'll be there in front, still holding on to that lead. There you see the 888 of James White working to the inside of William Gay. William Gay really trying to pull that strategy out. 19 laps to go. There's Wetland coming by, along with some other drivers down there on the inside. Gay's not going to battle them too hard. He's going to let them have their laps back. If I were Gay, I'd be keeping an eye on, though, how far that number 17 is from me. Right now, 23 seconds, 23 and a half seconds, and closing fast. The question becomes, will he hold off that much? Coming here to the line. He's still got 18 laps to go. I don't know if he's got enough. He may have enough fuel. I don't know. I don't know what the fuel strategy is on these cars. So forgive me on that. I don't know if pitting at lap 18 is going to give these 3 drivers enough fuel. Jeremy James and Kevin Baker are all out there trying to hold on. Greco is slowly trying to work his way back around there to them. As you see, here is Sage Greco working out of turn 4. Kevin Baker, he's coming down across the stripe right now, down into corner number 1. Yeah, that's going to be the next guy. Sage Greco's chasing down. Baker worked down the backstretch. Jeremy James there in the 221. On the apron, coming the pit road, most likely. And down here into the corner, Sage Greco there in 3rd. Gary Moore there for it. Nigel Steele there 5th. And Sage Greco, he's got around that 221 to give him 3rd spot. Kevin Baker, he's there in 2nd. 2 seconds in front of Sage Greco. Little over a second between Sage Greco and Kevin Baker. Then you got William Gay, who's trying to hold on to everything. Coming through turn 4 on the front stretch as Sage works there off a 2. So a half a lap there. 14 laps to go there for Sage Greco. Does Sage have the fuel to get to the end? And I think I see that 221. Jeremy James coming off the apron there after his pit stop. Shea Charlton pitted at lap 50. Jeremy James pitted lap 59. Kevin Baker ends up losing that spot there to Sage Greco. Here comes Moore to get around him. So Baker's going to fall back there into 4th. Nigel Steele there in the 4th. So Baker falls back there in the 5th. William Gay still hoping that he's got enough of a lead out there to hang on to it. They rolled there out of turn 4. Down across the stripe, 12 laps to go. He's leading the way. With Greco trying to close the gap. He's about 16 seconds back here. He's closing. And we're down the back stretch here. There you see Spillman back there working off a 2. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in here to Flaker Farm TV on the pole here tonight from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Yeah, at 75, William Gay out there in the front. Working there off of turn number. Down there off the corner. Sage Grego there second. Trying to work his way up there to William Gay. Your top two biggest movers right now. Sage Greco is there in a second. 15 seconds behind William Gay, who's out there in the front. Not sure if we got any other excitement going on the racetrack right now. Let's try to pull up the map. We'll see if we can. There you see the map there in the top right corner, how they're all spread out around Charlotte tonight. You got that 8-0. That 803 of Robert McRae working there behind the 888 of James the Weapon. And down through the backstretch, there's that 101 of Sean Day. William Gay still hangs on to the lead with Sage Greco there in front. Gay down there along that white line, trying to hang on to everything he can. And down the backstretch, there you see Sage Greco, 8 laps to go. Gentlemen, I wonder if Gay is kind of holding his belt tight. And down through off of corner number 4 comes the 75. As Greco comes off turn number 2. Still about a little less than a half a lap gap between those two drivers. There we got Gary Moore in a third, Nigel Skilly there in fourth. These two drivers trying to battle it out to see who gets third. Andrew Kahn back here in a pit. And right behind him is the 26, Chase Zilla. Gentlemen, Greco having a tough time getting up there to battle Gay. And I'm sure Gay just does not want to try to come in the pit. We do have a couple others coming in the pit right now. That is Kevin Baker and Robert McRae coming in for a secondary or a third stop, as Robert McRae is in for his third. Kevin Baker is in for his second. Eddie Gay out there on top. Got the 117 there. Working underneath him. That is the 117 of Mark Ossier. Yeah, we're down there off the start. Got a little smoke, puffs of smoke there. Not sure from what. Greco back here on 4. Here you see William Gay working there through 1 and 2. So Greco is closing, but is it quick enough? 5 laps to go. William Gay still trying to hang on here till the end. What do you think? Will Sage Greco make it to get the lead, or will William Gay go against all odds and keep enough fuel in that thing to get it to the end ahead of Greco? This is quite a race here tonight. Working there off turn 4. William Gay out there in front. Sage Greco off of 2. Gary Moore there third. Nigel Skilly, he's going to get up there and battle with Gary Moore. Or is it the other way around? Gary Moore battling Skilly. Either way, these two drivers battling for third spot. Now they come there out of 4, down across the stripe. The 8 of Skilly right there. William Gay got 3 laps to go to save enough fuel to make it to the end. Does he have it? Now they work down the backstretch. That's 6 there, that 89 of Gary Moore. Nigel Skilly there in the 8. They're battling side by side here for third position. Nobody really getting a nose over the other as they work their off of turn number 4. And working there off the corner, you got Gary Moore in the 4th. William Gay out there in the front, side by side, still for second or for 3rd and 4th. As Sage is coming across, they're out of 4th. Final lap for William Gay. Does he have it? He's got another set of turns to make. Coming there out of turn number 2, down that back straightaway. We have one come off pit road there. William Gay comes down there to the bottom of 3 and 4. There he is, up off of 4, down through the front, and it is going to be William Gay for the win here at Charlotte in the FMA Xfinity Series here tonight. Sage Grego going to come around. He'll get second. Great run by him. Nigel Steele, he'll come across and he'll gather 3rd as Gary Moore falls back there in the 4th. The 39, Andrew Kahn, he'll be in 5th. Pole sitter to 5th tonight. William Gay and Sage Grego, what a run by them two. Up 20 and up 18 positions from where they started, if my math is adding up. Man, oh man, I don't think Gay's got enough for a burnout, but we'll see here. He's down there on the front stretch. The 75, William Gay getting that win. Man, oh man, he'll burn off what's left of them tires. Great, great job there for William Gay tonight. Now, let's see here. See here, we need Nigel Steele. Good evening here, Nigel. How's it going?
What's up, man? How are you? Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. How's that, man? How's that car feel after that race?
I burnt it there at the end, but it was a good time.
Well, you did a good job hanging on to where you started, which was 3rd position, if I'm looking at my stats correct.
Correct. It was 3rd position.
Well, you got 3rd here finishing, great battle there at the end there between you and Gary Moore, and it looked like you were able to come out a little bit on top.
Yeah, it was real clean. I had to run the high line, which I hadn't done most of the day, and definitely burnt the tires out, but just had enough there at the end.
Well, you got any sponsor shout-outs? Anybody you want to thank for getting 3rd place podium here in the FMA Xfinity?
Just FMA, the clean racing that we have here, and really like being here. It's a lot of fun. I look forward to Sundays, and anytime I can get in the car, it's a lot of fun.
Alrighty, well, congrats on that 3rd place, and hopefully we'll see you back next week.
Yes, sir. You guys have a good one.
All right, having Nigel Steele, Sage Greco here for 2nd place here tonight. Good evening there, Sage. How's it going?
What's going on, Adam?
Oh, not a whole lot. Man, oh man, what a race for you.
Oh yeah, I should have pitted when William did. I guess I thought there was gonna be another caution.
Well, you started 20th, ended up finishing 2nd. I honestly, with him pitting at lap 18, I didn't know if I was going to give him enough fuel to get to the end or not. I didn't know how the fuel ran here.
Yeah, I think he had a lap left at the end. I'm sure you'll talk to him next, but so he can explain it better. But yeah, just yeah, didn't think there was gonna be another caution. Good for him though. Happy he got a win.
Well, you got second here tonight, and you pretty much had to race to get there for sure.
Yeah, yeah, had to go around a lot of people for it.
Well, you definitely did a great job getting that 17 ZYN machine up there in the second place podium position tonight. You got any sponsors, shout outs, anybody you want to thank?
No, sir.
Well, hopefully we'll see you back next week here at on the pole as we take on another track. I think we're taking on Atlanta next week.
Oh yeah, old Atlanta, hopefully.
Yes, it is. It's old Atlanta.
Cool. Yeah, that'd be fun.
So you feel ready for that?
Yes, sir. Sure do.
Alrighty. Well, we'll see you then. Have yourself a great week there, Sage, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right, brother.
All right, that was Sage Greco. Now we'll get with William Gay, and the number 75. Good evening there, William. How's it going?
What's up, buddy? How you doing tonight?
I'm doing fairly well. I'd be doing better if the dang stream would stay steady. I don't know what the heck is up with it tonight. It's just, I'm getting drop frames everywhere.
Yeah, I'm about tired of computer issues too, buddy. So I'm in the same boat with you.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be the graphics card. I don't know. But who knows? And we'll figure that out. And it seems like it's whenever I get above 24 cars on track, or I hit that 23rd car and then I hit 24, it seems to be that 23 to 24 car mark is when I start having issues. But you did a great job, man. What a run tonight in that number 75. Kind of take us through. How much fuel did you have there at the end of that run?
So I got rear-ended on the last caution we had, so I had some rear-end damage, and I think we had gone maybe 19, 20 laps, something like that. So I decided to go ahead and pit and fix my damage. I took all 4 tires, took fuel, got back out there. Of course, we're still under pace laps, and then we went green. Probably about 10 laps into the run, I noticed that I had enough fuel. If I'd stayed maybe a lap or half a lap, I was going to be good on fuel. So I moseyed on up to, I think it was like field fourth or something like that, and the leaders pitted. I just kept right on going, man, and I made that decision right then that I was not going to pit, and I got some distance between me and the cars that were a lap down, so I was able to save a little bit more. And when I crossed the finish line, I had a lap left.
And were you worried about Sage coming up through the field at all, or did you feel confident you had enough space?
So he popped up on my relative with like 5 laps to go, and I think I had like a 9-second lead on him. So I got a little worried there, and so I picked it up a little bit because I knew that I had enough fuel to last me, and I didn't want to burn my tires up because I did want to have enough to finish the race and not lose so much ground. So I looked on the relative, and he was getting a little closer, but he wasn't getting that closer. I think he got to 8.8 and then maybe 8 point something. But anyway, he wasn't. And when I got a white flag, I knew I had it. If I could kept it on the track, I had to win.
Yeah, he ended up finishing about 8 seconds behind you. Almost 9.
Yeah, I hadn't seen him on my relative, but about 5 laps to go, he popped up on my relative, and I was able to see his distance from me. And Sage is good; he's a good driver. I mean, there's a bunch of good drivers in the league, but Sage is definitely one that you want to. I don't want to say beat, but he challenges you because he is such a good driver. So I was very fortunate tonight to be able to save a little bit of fuel and was able to run it out. And my tires were not that bad when I finished the race. They were pretty good. So I'm pretty pleased, man. I really am. I'm stoked.
Well, you did a great job getting that Costa number 75 there out to victory lane. And you got sponsor shout-outs. Anybody you want to thank for getting that victory tonight?
Yeah, man. I just want to, again, like I do every week, if I podium, I want to thank the league. I want to thank you for putting on the broadcast. I know that it takes a lot to do all that, and I enjoy FMA. It's probably the best league that I have been in, and I've raced in a lot. Even my own league. I think the competitiveness here in this league is great, and it challenges you to be better each week. So, yeah, man, I just want to thank Dad, thank my wife for putting up with me for doing this. She gives up a lot of time for me to come in here and do this, so I appreciate that.
Well, great job, William, and we'll see how this plays